What's going on, guys? Brandon here from Nerdlocker. We're at the DC booth again, and I'm here with Jeff Lemire. Jeff, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you
enjoying the con so far?
Yeah, it's really fun. I love the show, you know. Yeah.
So you are writing Animal Man, and you have that big, super awesome crossover coming up with Swamp Thing. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big story. Scott and I, anyone who's been reading either book or both knows we've been pretty much planning this from issue 1 and building towards it, so there's a lot of expectations on it, but we think we've come up with something really big. You know, basically it's a version of the DC universe. It starts in issue 13 of each book, and it's a version of the DC universe that's lost to the rot. It's over, and the only ones left to fight are people with a connection to the red, the green, or the rot. So Alec and Buddy are kind of on these two separate journeys within this really terrible version of the DC universe, and they're being helped by people like Beast Boy or Poison Ivy, you know, these C or D-list characters that you wouldn't expect to be the champions of the DC universe, but have had no choice but to become that. And then the big guns like Superman, Batman, The Flash, they're all there too, but not in a way that you've ever seen them before, you know, and the fun will be seeing what happened to them and why they're not there. And yeah, I mean, it is an Animal Man Swamp Thing story at its core. It builds out of everything we've been doing from the start, but it really does encompass the entire New 52 universe, and it gave us a chance to really play with a lot of characters we haven't had a chance to play with yet. So yeah, I think people will be pretty surprised by the scope of it and by just the sheer amount of effect that it has on that entire New 52 universe. So.
How different is writing a crossover book as opposed to just doing your own thing? I mean, is it a lot harder to get the same ideas across?
You know, I think we kind of did it in a way it's not really like a crossover book, you know. We're still, it's not like part 1 in Swamp Thing 1 month, part 2 in Animal Man. Like, it's really, Animal Man's its own story, and it's just self-contained to that monthly book. There's no crossovers or spin-offs, you know, and same with Swamp Thing. And then at the very end, they do come together for, a part 1 and 2, the big finale. But, so we really are just writing the monthly book still, and Scott and I are good friends, so coordinating sort of the bigger story is just something that we like doing, and it's fun, and it's very easy for us. So.
Now, you were writing Frankenstein, which was totally awesome, by the way. Are there any other characters you want to tackle in the New 52 universe?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Frankenstein I really loved, and it was kind of hard to leave that book to do Justice League Dark because I had so much fun writing it. But kind of the best thing now is that Frankenstein's going to be joining Justice League Dark, so I still get to write him.
That's awesome. Oh.
Yeah, and I'd love to take a crack at Aquaman one day. I think what Jeff's doing is really cool, and I think there's a lot of potential there with that character, you know. And it's hard not to want to do every DC character, you know, one day. But you know, I mean, I really got to say, all my absolute favorite characters, my dream projects it would be, you know, Constantine, Animal Man, and Swamp Thing, and I'm getting to do those now, so it's hard to complain, you know.
That's awesome. That was my next question too, was Justice League Dark. So Frankenstein's joining the team. What else do we have to look forward to in that book?
Yeah, the big storyline that I've been building revolves around the Books of Magic, which is obviously a concept from the old Vertigo series with Timothy Hunter, and I'm finally going to reveal what the Books of Magic are. They are actual books, and there's a bigger mystery and secret there, and it's all tied into Timothy Hunter's his destiny, and it's about Constantine, Deadman, and Zatanna, and the rest of the team's trying to protect him and help him to fulfill that destiny. But I think the surprise that I have at the end of this whole thing is probably something no one's going to see coming. It's
perfect.
No one will be able to guess what the books really are. I guarantee that. So,
awesome.
And you know, I was really lucky. Tim Hunter is a DC property, but he was created by Neil Gaiman, obviously, and I had a lot of respect for Neil and for Karen Berger, so before I used him, I asked permission, and Neil was really gracious and sent me a really cool email saying I could use him, and his only request is that I do something new with him, and what else could you ask for? So that was really fun and really exciting for me, you know.
Now, your other book you write, and draw, Sweet Tooth, it's ending in December, correct, with issue 40. What do you have any other plans for your own character created comics or anything like that coming out in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, drawing a book every day is you know, my favorite part of the day is when I get to draw my own stuff in the morning, you know, and I'll always want to be drawing my own characters and my own ideas and stuff. So I have, you know, obviously talking to Vertigo, and we have a couple things that we're working on. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new Vertigo project of some sort next year sometime.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much for your time, man.
Hey, this is Jeff Lemire, and you're watching Nerdlocker, a place to shove your inner nerd into a locker of nerdness.